what he was doing was to say that Mevar, that you should be modeh, that this is not a taina. In other words, he's saying, so so why was he doing it in such a way? Because this was the same inyan is what Lavan was doing to Yaakov Avinu, was the sheker that he had, the ramos that he had was that everything belonged to him. So too Ammon came to take from Klal Yisrael, because they were saying the land that you took was ours, and you took our oritz. So the teretz was that, to leave it at that. Let's say they fought them. It wouldn't be complete, because Lamaisa was that he had to be mochiach. He had to show to the oilam that he had to show that there was no taina. Their taina was a taina sheker, and they had no that oretz that Klal Yisrael had in Evar Yarden, Eretz Sichon v'Og, that they were actually belonged to Klal Yisrael, and it did not belong to Ammon. What was the taina? The taina was, and which is in Chumash, Ribbon Shalom, there were those that occupied. They had part of Sichon's Eretz Sichon. Sichon came and he conquered parts of that land and took it away from Bnei Ammon. So that became Eretz Sichon, and that's what Klal Yisrael took. And the whole inyan, the whole mahalach, was in order that Klal Yisrael should be able to take Eretz Sichon, because if it would have belonged to Ammon, then they would not have been able to do it, because they couldn't take away from Ammon. So Guf for the Ribbon Shalom was Mesavev Sivuvim, that they should have it, that in order to be, and therefore Yiftach was showing that what their taina was. I mean, again, this is another shal and halacha. I mean, because it's steers, because Lamaisa is how did they take over that oretz through kibush. So the Gemara says that an akum does not have kinyan kibush. So the shaila was, how could they? And yet it says over here, Tiru b'Sichon, that they took it over and it was theirs. So that's a kasha that's asked. So one of the two is al pi adibor. The Meilataka, they had a kinyan kibush because Baruch told them, gave them this koyach. That which they took, all these arotzos, when they took their oretz, Ammon, and in Chumash, you see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that they took their which I didn't, again, this was bothering me also, I didn't have a chance to take a look, but it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them this oretz Gufa through Nisim. The kibush that Ammon, there were those who lived where they took over, lived there before. There was Zumim, I think. And it's also by Moab.
The giants?
Yeah, there were I think it's Ammon called them Zamzum. They were Foyim, but these gufa that they got their chalik was also b'derech l'mayla min haTeva. In other words, that's what it goes through the thing, because how could they conquer these zamzumim, these refoim? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted them to have this mokum. So Gufa, the fact that he wanted Sichon to take over, it wasn't because Sichon was stronger. No, just like the other ones were stronger than them that they conquered. So Elamai, it was through HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving them what he had told them there would be their Yerusha. So he gave them this also. So Lamai says, but that which he wanted to be Shaykh to Klal Yisrael, that was the chalik of the Eretz Sichon that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Sichon in order that Klal Yisrael, why? That Klal Yisrael, these were the Makomas, that even before loss of Lavo, that Klal Yisrael was to take into Kedusha.
If I can ask a question, maybe that's off topic, whoever doesn't want to answer, fine.
Maybe it's off topic and I can't answer it.
I'm not worried about that part. But at the same time, and Rebbe's pointing out very sharply that the Ratzon Hashem is clear on the matter, and at the same time we say that Ever Li'adein does not have the, like emphatically does not have the Kedusha of quote unquote Eretz Yisrael, and yet the Rasham, isn't that l'chora something that needs a
yeah, about it. In the Yesod HaDavar itself, the fact that when Bnei Gad, Bnei Ruvain asked for it, it was also not. There were two studim. One side was it was a Davar Tov, and one side was that Rebbeinu Shem did not want them to. There were two studim. That's the Indian. You're right. It was not the shlemus hara. The shlemus is not until loss of love. Eivar Yarden will become a chaylik, but now it's not that madrega, and it didn't have that madrega because it was not the zman of the shlemus of the that it should be. Just like Bnei Gad, Bnei Ruvain again. One side was that they shouldn't have taken it. That you see in the Droshim, see Chazal that there were tightness to them that they asked for it. But on the other hand, and again I would say one of the things I had this in Yeshua that it says the Mikne Rav. So it says Mikne Rav means Knei L'cha Rav. So they wanted that the Kvur of Moshe Rabbeinu should be by them. So that's why they asked for it. So Kvur's Moshe Rabbeinu is not Shlemus Hadavar. But it means that there's a shaykhus. It means this is the shirish. That's what Kodesh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu. If you are not nikbar and Eivar Yarden, then your whole door will not have Tchis HaMesim.
They really wanted more. They wanted to preserve Moshe Rabbeinu. He shouldn't have to die. He could stay in Eivar Yarden. He's not going to Eretz Yisrael.
That I don't know. Could be. I didn't know that.
It was a very simcha.
I thought.
No, that's why God comes before Ruvain, because he was much more noble. He wanted. He thought you got the kever, but
Is there a Chazal that says that? I mean, it could be. It could be. I'm not saying that, but I don't know if it's. What I saw is that they wanted he to be Nick, which Lamaisa he was.
right.
I mean,
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he didn't. But
And at the same time, so Shlach L'cha, that Moshe, I'm sorry, V'eschanan, Moshe desperately wanted to go into Eretz Yisrael. Ron Hashem says, you can't go in but everything that Moshe did was nitzchi. But L'maisa, Ever Li'adein, Moshe Rabbeinu himself conquered Ever Li'adein. That was the first thing to go into to be lost. We talk about,
but it didn't say that it would. The fact of becoming Chelek of Eretz Yisrael was because of Bnei Gad, Bnei Ruvain. In other words, if about it was Ratzon Hashem that it should, but the Ma'ase says that but the Kvisha was not. The Kvisha was not that it should. The Kvisha was, in other words, about it. There was a level that it was to have, but the Kvisha was not that was Hitzonius was to go into Eretz Yisrael. They're not letting you go in. They're going in to fight a Milchama. So you go and you conquer them.
No. What I'm saying is that we talk about Moshe couldn't go in because then he could build the bias.
Right.
And everything
Right, I
Moshe did
understand.
was nitzchi.
Right.
But Lemaisi, you see by the kibush of Bnei Gad, Bnei Ruvain, of Sichon V'od, that it wasn't nitzchi.
No, so I'm saying that the Nitzchi is in a dover that if the Kodesh Baruch Hu said, be kaivish sicham v'og, you should be kaivish sicham v'og, and then you should make it part of Eretz Yisrael, then ain't no chinami. Then it could be that it would stay. I mean, they would never become bottled. But he didn't tell that to Moshe. It was only to Reuben and God when they go to Reuben and Chatz Shem Menashe.
But at the end, there's one point in the Torah where it says, like, the boundaries are the River Prat. The River Prat, the Euphrates. So it definitely encompasses the other side of the Jordan. It goes all the way down. Like, I don't understand.
I'm not familiar.
L'chara, that's the northern border. The Pras goes across the north, continue up the coast.
The price goes all over.
It goes also to the east. But
Go to the Euphrates.
Because it reminded me of the board that the more in the dome says, "Hanoder make pros is asar kol meimas shaboy," because the mocha for all mine is in hard pros. And when it said that the mocha for that is because the Arba Nahoris and Prostrations, it says each one of them. It says it would circle this. It circled this. So by the three, it says what it circled. And Naravi is pros. So it doesn't say what it circled. So I put this is because it was everything. It was the mocha. So I remember Koleski. That's something. I was in his shoe. So you can't. You know, you come to the gross.
you know that
He said the girls also said it. He told me that. He was like, certainly was, and I said Mechavan, he's not with all the kavanas, but the mice is that I involved in simples like twice. That's all.
the second time was?
Second time it says Asher Chai. That says that these were the years that he lived. So it said, why does it say Asher Chai? Because he was supposed to live longer, and he gave those 70 years to David. And then there's another place that says also Asher. I think there's two I know, but I'm trying to remember where the second one is. But there's maybe a third one too. But two are there, and they. I think it may be Avram Avinu B'Sefer Tova. Does it say Asher Chai? I don't know. There's two places. So the mice is in this. We have the so he was being mochiach with his dibur that there was no time, that Ammon had no time to Eretz Yisrael. So the koyach of this
Avram.
So but this koyach was also to I don't have a but this koyach was a koyach of dibur. The koyach of dibur, that's right, by him it was zoiche to the bechina of neder, but he was not zoiche to the bechina of hatoras nedor. He was zoiche to make a neder. So that, again, this is Jewish, but my said I didn't. I mean, why couldn't they? It's a Pella. Why couldn't they find a Pesach? You know, Bishlam, you tell me that there's such a lush in Chazal, Amoritz, or he was a tzaddik, but he was an Amoritz. Okay, so she went to Sanhedrin, the Chazal says, the Bas Yiftach went to find the Pesach. They couldn't find the Pesach. I mean, one Chazal says, you don't need a Pesach. There's no such thing as a Chalos Neder on her. There's a Indian of Erchen, but that's the book where it goes by Erchen, but there's no Indian. So what? And Pinchas didn't go to be mated. He would have been able to have a Pesach. What was the whole Indian?
So it seems with what Rebbe was saying before, the klipa of kavod there wasn't a complete mirror, so
I
to
hear.
speak. It sounds like.
But so I'm going to say the it's Jewish. Just again, this is not in halacha, and this not the wrong frame for the kashrus halacha, is that Yiftach meant when he made a Pesach means if I would have known that, then I wouldn't have done that. Yiftach made the neder believe Sholem that whatever it is, when he made the neder, it wasn't. So it's not the pshat. Oh, I knew it was my daughter. I never would have made the neder. There was no mokum to say that he made a toast. In other words, I didn't mean my daughter. I would give you anything, Rebbeinu Shalom, but not. No, but when he made the neder, it was anything that the Rebbeinu Shalom wants that I'm giving to the Rebbeinu Shalom. That I'm giving to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And I wanted to shtok su. Said this word before. It's just like it's a Jewish, but this was not that Yiftach b'derech Shmuel b'derech. So she was Chana was menader Shmuel Lashem. So say like this, she was menader. So I mean you've heard this that when would you expect Chana when she got? When would you expect her to say the Hodah HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he gave her a ben? When would be this man?
When he was born.
When he was born. She did not say it. She said it when she gave him away. When she gave him to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, she didn't say the tefillas, the shira that she said was when she gave Shmuel away. So you see what her whole ratzon was. Her whole ratzon was to have a ben, to give him away to the Rebbeinu Shalom, that they should be for the Rebbeinu Shalom completely. You would think it would be the most, the most terrible minute that she was mispalel for a ben, and now she has to give him completely away. The Torah says that was the whole task. Task was to have a ben that she could give a ben to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So I mean, maybe another time. I don't want to make it seem like she was. It's not.
So that's like Yiftach.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's a different.
You're making the kesher with her
Yiftach.
and the same intensity.
The same, right? What he was giving was he wanted to give. What do you mean? So okay, so I'm willing to give. What do I have already? So a goat comes out. So I'll give a goat so a cow comes out. So I'll give it. I'll be micro. No, he was saying anything you Rebbeinu Shalom want from me that comes out, and that I will give to you. And what? See, I
Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't want that.
what?
Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't want that.
He obviously did.
It's Asher Lu Tzuvei. This Gemara says.
Yeah, Avada, he would never tell him to go bring it to go bring her, but when he said it, then and he meant anything that you said, and what did he say? He said at the time that the thing that comes out, I don't have a I'll peep shot. I don't know. I mean, he said whatever comes out towards me, likras. So it means that this was someone who was coming to greet him, coming Basimcha, that he's coming back, and that's what happened. She came out, the boss came out, and she was with
The shore doesn't do that.
what? A shore doesn't do that. So the mamish came, and at that moment.
And there's also Ratiyal Yiftach, Ruach Hashem is leading up right into that neder.
Right.
So
Right. So I'm saying that's what I was thinking. In halacha, I don't know how to fit it because it can't halach. But I'm saying you can't say, well, I didn't really mean anything. I only meant I meant anything you want from me. That Ribono Shalom, anything that I can give, I want to give it because you're the one who's and that he's saying that the one that goes to Grasso, that Gufa was the Gilui that it was from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's giving it that thing that came out, whatever would come out, to say, oh, Yiftach came back and he had the son. That's cool Hashem. It's cool Hashem. Whatever it is, it's not me. It's cool Hashem.